Audio has always been one of the hardest parts of creating content. Not because sound doesn't matter, but because the tools were never built for how modern workflows actually work. They were built for studios, for concerts, and for engineers. With years of experience building creator-focused tools, studying real-world workflows, and hearing from you directly about what makes audio complicated, our team set out to build the most intuitive yet powerful audio processing system available for creators today. Meet WaveFX. WaveFX is a dedicated audio system designed to deliver broadcast-ready sound in real time. Built directly into Elgato Wave microphones and audio interfaces, WaveFX moves critical voice processing onto the hardware itself, resulting in consistent broadcast-ready sound across all applications. At the core of every WaveFX-powered device is the WaveFX processor, a dedicated hardware chip. WaveFX processing combines three powerful technologies: ClipGuard 2.0, the WaveFX processor with 5 real-time DSP effects, and VST insert. These three work together in one signal path. So let's take a look at each part of WaveFX and how it shapes and enhances your voice, starting at the beginning with ClipGuard 2.0. Clipping happens when a signal exceeds the limit of the hardware capturing it, both analog and digital. Once that happens, the audio can't be recovered. Back in 2020, with the original Wave devices, we introduced ClipGuard, a built-in safeguard designed to reduce distortion from unexpected volume spikes. It worked by managing peaks at a single stage in the signal path. ClipGuard 2.0 prevents clipping by addressing the problem at multiple stages. The first layer is stacked analog to digital converters, or ADCs. Traditional audio interfaces use a single analog to digital converter with a fixed gain. That forces you to choose between capturing quiet detail or loud peaks. Stacked ADCs capture multiple signal ranges simultaneously at different gain levels. Quiet sounds are recorded with precision, while loud sounds are captured without overload. This prevents clipping before it can even occur at the analog stage. The second layer is 32-bit internal processing. Once the signal is digitized, WaveFX processes it in 32-bit precision. This provides enormous dynamic range and headroom compared to a typical 24-bit audio architecture, which quickly reaches the digital limit of sound and harsh clipping can occur. 32-bit processing means it's impossible to cause digital clipping, as sudden volume spikes can't reach the digital volume limit. The third layer is intelligent limiting. WaveFX processes audio internally at 32-bit resolution, providing far more headroom than standard output formats. When the signal is converted back down to 24-bit for streaming or recording, extreme peaks must be controlled to prevent distortion. Intelligent limiters handle that transition, gently managing peaks only when required without changing the character of the sound. The result is a clean output with no clipping. Together, stacked ADCs, 32-bit processing, and intelligent limiters form ClipGuard 2.0, and we think it's unclippable. Go ahead, give it a try. Next, your voice enters the DSP or digital signal processor. WaveFX includes a suite of onboard DSP effects that run directly on the WaveFX processor. Because these effects run on hardware, monitoring latency is effectively eliminated. You hear exactly what's happening to your voice the moment it happens. Each effect serves a specific purpose, and the effects and order were expertly designed by our audio engineers. It starts with the low-cut filter. The low-cut filter removes low-frequency rumble from desks, mic stands, and room vibration, such as a car driving by. These low frequencies heavily interfere with audio processing and sounds unpleasant, so this cleans up your voice before it ever reaches the next effects. The expander reduces background noise in a more natural way than a traditional noise gate. If you've ever used a noise gate, you already understand the basic idea: reducing unwanted sound when you're not speaking. The difference is in how it does it. A noise gate works a little bit like a switch. When your voice drops below a certain level, it closes, often cutting off quiet words, breaths, or the natural tail of your words. An expander works gradually. Instead of turning sound on and off, it gently lowers the level of background noise as your voice gets quieter, while keeping speech intact. That means less keyboard noise, room hum, or fan noise without the choppy, unnatural sound that gates can create. It's subtle, transparent, and far more forgiving, especially in real-world recording spaces. Then comes VoiceTune. VoiceTune is designed for creators who want better sound without complex configuration. It's inspired by the behavior of classic analog recording gear, particularly tape machines, hand-tuned by expert audio engineers. Those systems compress and enrich sound due to their analog nature, adding warmth and density without sounding processed. VoiceTune recreates that behavior using a dynamic level-aware processing model. As you adjust the single intensity control, it intelligently balances compression and harmonic enhancement based on how you speak. The processing adapts in real time rather than applying fixed settings. The result is a single control that simply makes your voice sound better, adding an analog like warmth, density, and presence. The compressor controls dynamic range. It brings quiet words forward, reins in louder moments, and keeps your voice present and intelligible in a mix. The 4-band EQ allows precise tonal shaping. You can remove muddiness, add clarity, and tailor your voice to different microphones, rooms, or content styles. All of these DSP effects are processed directly on the WaveFX processor, with no added latency, no CPU load, and no dependency on software. Settings for DSP effects are saved on your Wave device, ensuring they are always just as you set them. Finally, WaveFX extends beyond onboard effects with VST Insert, a powerful technology not commonly found on consumer audio equipment. VST plugins were designed primarily for DAWs, digital audio workstations, where buffering and offline processing are expected. Running them live across streaming, recording, and communication apps often requires workarounds and additional routing. WaveFX simplifies this by moving VST processing into the hardware signal chain through a dedicated VST insert path. Instead of running entirely on your computer, VST effects are inserted into a dedicated low-latency processing path connected directly to the WaveFX processor. This allows VST plugins to be integrated alongside onboard DSP effects from the audio input, whether that's the XLR input or a microphone capsule. You can apply studio-grade plugins to your microphone like voice changers or even a full soundboard without virtual microphones or complex routing. For example, instead of selecting a virtual microphone in Discord, Zoom, or your game, you simply choose your Wave device, since the effects are part of the WaveFX signal path. There are also benefits to monitoring your voice. Thanks to the optimized signal path, the latency of VST and AU audio effects is reduced even further, so you can monitor the same effects in your headphones that your audience hears with extremely low latency. It's a huge benefit over traditional software-based audio effects. So that's WaveFX, a complete audio processing system built for how creators actually create. It starts with unclippable audio at the source with ClipGuard 2.0. Then, the WaveFX processor with real-time DSP and 5FX shape your voice instantly, and you can hear the results in real time in your headphones. And finally, VST Insert technology enables low-latency processing and simplified setup of software-based audio effects. All of this is powered by the WaveFX processor. You'll find WaveFX inside the next generation of Elgato Wave devices, including Wave 3 Mark II, Wave XLR Mark II, XLR Dock Mark II for Stream Deck Plus, and Wave XLR Pro. To know which devices include WaveFX, keep an eye out for this badge. If you're just getting started, WaveFX gives you great sound without complexity. And if you're ready to go deeper, it gives you the control and headroom to grow. If you have any questions about WaveFX or want to let us know which is your favorite effect, let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.